Hey, help support the show by joining the Patreon or becoming a YouTube member. Also hit that like button to subscribe if you want more Cavs-focused content.
So one of the things that I'm going to credit to the Cavaliers is I believe that 8-minute Tristan Thompson beat down that they gave the New York Knicks where they put the bench squad in and went on an 8-0 run on national TV in front of millions upon millions of people, you know, when they beat New York. I think that was the loss that broke everybody's back about New York, right? Before this game, it was a narrative. Can New York beat elite teams? But after this game, it seems like people have put that narrative to bed because it's not even a question anymore. It just is what it is with New York. Look how the tone has changed about the New York Knicks after the Cavs put that beat down on them. Let's listen.
And been grace, guys. The Knicks lost to Cleveland Friday by nearly 40 points, and Donovan Mitchell led the way for the number one team in the East. It didn't get much better for the Knicks in Boston yesterday, facing the second-ranked team in the East, as it was never competitive, losing 118-105. Jason Tatum, 1 assist shy of a triple-double. That was the Celtics' 5th straight win, and they improved to 3-0 against the Knicks this season. The Knicks are 0-7 against the Celtics, Cavs, and Thunder this season, compared to 37-3, don't rush me, against the rest of the league. And it hasn't been close.
Molly was here, the passive aggressives. You know what happened there, real quick? Because, like, when you do this can happen. But sometimes, like, you want the person that's setting up the segment or setting up whatever you're doing to hurry up. So, you know, you try to like lightly guide them. Hey, come on. We got 7 minutes, right? That was 100% what Stephen A was trying to do. And Molly clocked that and said, nah, big dog. You on my time.
With those 7 losses coming by an average of 20 points per game. Stephen A, are the Knicks contenders or pretenders?
Well, first of all, I wasn't rushing you. Don't lie to the American public. I wasn't rushing you. I was hoping we'd go to commercial break so I didn't have to tackle the subject. That's what I was hoping for.
Well, I heard
I was hoping we'd go to commercial. That's what I was hoping for. Hell no. Listen, the Knicks, they're pretenders. And what I mean by that is that I think they're the 3rd best team in the Eastern Conference. They are a precipitous drop-off from the top 2 teams. Shannon was right. I was wrong. I'd give the Lakers a better chance coming out of the West than I'd give the Knicks of coming out of the East.
Damn. That bad? Is that bad? Like, the thing with the New York Knicks is like, and I was talking to Cole about this. I do think the Knicks are better than they were last year. But it just seems like talent-wise, they're better than they were last year. I'll say that. But it just seems like it be the other stuff that be getting them in, right? The Tibbs of it all. And we don't talk about it enough because Tibbs has been a successful coach, but he's not been a champion coach. And for as good as Tibbs is to raise your floor, we don't ask enough if how he raises your floor is also how he lowers your ceiling. It's something to ask here, right? Like, is Tibbs kind of the Kyle Shanahan of basketball coaches? Where it's like, hey, man, you're always going to have a floor. But whenever you get to those conference finals, those semifinals, it just be something to come up with Tibbs teams, right?
Because the Celtics and the Cavaliers are so dominant compared to the Knicks that I don't see the Knicks having a chance against either one of them. I think either of them would take the Knicks out in 5 or 6 games. Now, obviously, I reserve the right to change my mind when Mitchell Robinson comes back and he elevates their defensive prowess. But right now, the New York Knicks are horrid defensively. I can't believe how bad a Tom Thibodeau team is defensively. I've never seen anything like this, Tim. I've never seen anything like this, Shannon. That's not from a Tom Thibodeau team. They're obviously elite offensively with Cat and Jalen Brunson, and obviously Anunoby and Bridges and Hart can do some things to help. But in the end, they're just undermanned against Boston and Cleveland.
Yeah, that's the thing with New York that I've noticed. They have no defense. Like, they didn't protect the rim at all. The Cavs got like a franchise records for dunk in a quarter against them. So there's absolutely no rim protection. I know people say Mitchell Robinson coming back, which, by the way, with the New York Knicks, like how often when you talk about the Knicks, some Knicks fan comes up to you like, hey, when we get this guy back, right? For a while, it was, hey, when we get OG Anunoby back. Now OG Anunoby's back. Well, he was out now. I think he's out now. But OG Anunoby comes back for a little bit, and then it turns to, oh, just wait till we get Josh Hart and Mitchell Robinson back. It's always something, right? Meanwhile, we're seeing what the Cavs are doing without Darius Garland for 2 games. They beat the 2 seed in the West pretty convincingly. But with the Knicks, it's always like, hey, man, wait till we get this guy healthy. Wait till we get that guy healthy. You know? And you can't count on health in the playoffs, especially when you're a team like the Knicks that plays their starters and their rotation players 38 minutes a game. Like, how can you count on health? You are the least likely to be a healthy team in the NBA. And yeah, Mitchell Robinson does give him a little bit of rim protection, but think about all of the shit that they're putting on Mitchell Robinson's back to protect him from. Like, Mitchell Robinson and Mitchell Robinson alone is supposed to solve all the issues that the Knicks have with rim protection. And then even then, that's just another big that's going to be in drop coverage. We know how these teams can just, especially the elite teams in the NBA, the Thunder, the Cavs, the Celtics, can just abuse drop coverage. So the problem the Knicks have is they can't make it difficult for Oklahoma City or Cleveland or Boston offensively. They just can't do it. And if you don't make it difficult for those teams in a 7-game series, 3 of those games, that team's going to shoot lights out against you. And one of those games, even if they don't shoot lights out against you, they're going to be able to get so much at the paint that it's not going to matter. Like, Mitchell Robinson having all that pressure on him is the only rim protector really on the team. What happens if he gets high in fouls early in the game, in the playoffs? Well, then Mitchell Robinson's gone. Right? It's a lot of pressure on a little bit of people. I think that's the biggest thing here.
They both arguably have a better starting 5. They clearly have a better bench. The New York Knicks are one of the worst teams in terms of efficiency from their bench. They're the worst defensive three-point shooting team in the NBA. Cleveland and Boston both shoot threes, so your Achilles heel is their strength, for crying out loud. They've got size, they've got athleticism, they've got speed, they've got youth, they have depth, they have shooting, they got athletes. It's like, damn. I'm sad because the New York Knicks lost in Game 7 to the Indiana Pacers last year, as y'all both well know. And I believe the only reason the Knicks weren't in the conference finals last year is because of the injuries. Even Hart went down, Brunson went down, OG went down, etc. Mitchell Robinson obviously went down. That's why they lost to Indiana. This year, you're not getting out of the semifinals because you're going to run into Cleveland or Boston, and you're not beating them, and it's not going to get to a 7th game. So I'm sad about it, but that's my reality, guys.
Well, Stephen A, that's too damn bad, brother. It's been interesting, this Knicks arc, because, look, give them credit where credit is due. Jalen Brunson was much better than anybody anticipated him being when they got him over here from Dallas. Like, straight up. Was a great signing for the New York Knicks, and they have had their moments, right? But I think what the New York Knicks are, and what the New York Knicks were always going to be, were not a championship contender. I just didn't think that Jalen Brunson as your best player was enough to be a championship contender. But what the Knicks were always going to be, I think their destiny is a fun team, right? A team that becomes a lot more fun when you erase the expectations of winning a championship off of them, right? They're like Minnesota with Zebo, where it's like, hey, they never really got to a finals, or the Dame Dollar, Portland Trail Blazers, right? That's what New York is. And I understand why New York fans are frustrated with that, because that's kind of been the peak of any build that the New York Knicks have had. But I think they're a fun team. I don't know if they were ever going to be a serious contender, even with Cat playing as well as he had. They opened themselves up to a lot of defensive concerns by trading for Cat, right? A lack of rim protection. Like, this is just, their ceiling was always going to be this kind of team, which is not a bad team, a very fun team, and a very competent team, but not a team that can really stand up with those elite teams. And if you really look at the history, like, that's kind of what the Knicks have been, right? The mellow Knicks were like that. They were never really a real threat to LeBron in the East, but, they were fun, right? And I think this Knicks team is very similar to that, to where they're not going to be a real threat to any true contender, but they're going to be a fun team during the regular season, and possibly a team that can, if everything goes right, makes it Eastern Conference Finals, but it's more likely destined for the East semis. Y'all let me know if I'm tripping in the comment section. Y'all have a great day. Have an even better night. Peace.